Hey guys, welcome to Just an Average Musician. This is quick tips for beginners. Most of the things I was doing prior to this, the majority is on acoustic. I decided to bring out the electric. I've got it running through a Helix and through my DAW. I've got a click going on here. What I'm basically going to do now is I'm going to try working with a click. So how I want you to look at a click is, any of you that have a DAW and you've been recording music, you know what a wave file looks like. Yeah, and if you break it down into, say, one grid, you've got a beginning and an end. So if you think about the click in the same way, you've got the click, which is this. You have that one sound, so imagine it's a wave going from on the grid. So you've got the beginning of the click, the end of the click, and then you've got the center when you're kind of playing in the pocket. So what I tell people is when you're working on songs, always try to lay back, depending. I mean, when you're playing with a band, it's different. You're going to follow the drummer, and there's going to be a vibe going on. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's music. Music shouldn't be in a grid. I mean, I understand that when you're doing, certain types of music and certain things, you want it in a grid, and that's fine. But right now, we're talking about live instruments. And live instrumentation should be close, but if it's perfect, it takes the whole human feel out of it. So when you're going back and if you cut a track to your DAW, and you go and look at the grid and you're a little ahead or a little behind, as long as the band is all kind of moving together, it gives it a vibe. Because a lot of times what will happen is you'll pull back on the verses and then you'll push a little on the choruses to give it a little more energy. But I'm going to play with a click right now. And one of the earliest exercises I gave you was using like open, first finger, first fret, second finger, second fret, third finger, third fret, fourth finger, fourth fret. So if you like, we just do downstrokes first. Got a little delay on there, so that's probably what you're hearing for the slap back. Now we're going to play with a click. 1, 2, 3, and. Alright, another thing you hear is a lot of distortion on here. So you got to be able to control that while you're doing this kind of chugging. If you want to get really percussive, that's an up and down motion, and I'm muffling here and I'm muffling up here to make sure. And I talked about that in one of the earlier videos with the acoustic guitar, which probably didn't make a lot of sense to you. But now if you're playing through the distortion, you hear it. And we'll get into vibrato and things of that nature. But if you're trying to be really tight, now we're going to just go along and just groove to this thing. Yeah, I'm just screwing around, but the idea is to just practice chords. I threw in a bunch of chords that I haven't shown you yet, but you may already know them. But for any of you beginners, I'll get into those chords in a minute. Well, not in this video, but on another video. Just take a click and mess around. Just try to stay in the pocket. Try to push, pull, try to pull back. Try to create a verse, chorus idea, maybe some kind of riff. And just do these different things that'll help you lock in and be comfortable with the neck and comfortable with playing, and also knowing how to muffle and all these different things. There's a lot of things going on because you want to make sure you don't have all this noise, especially when you're trying to cut a track. Because if you're cutting a track, you can go back and go, oh, that's god awful, and I have to go back and do it again because there's just noise everywhere. So just keep these things in mind, and we'll get to it more and more as we do more of these quick tips. So guys, I hope this helps. Let's jam.